Welcome to the live stream. My name's Fabian Holland. If you don't know, if you've just happened upon this live stream, then welcome to my YouTube channel. I basically talk about everything to do with being a singer-songwriter in terms of guitar techniques, in terms of songwriting, in terms of recording and gear and live performance, this type of stuff. So if you're interested in that, then please, check out all my other videos and check out all the other live streams that I've done. But if you can let me know in the chat if you can hear me okay, I would appreciate that. You know, I've seen on some of these other live streams that some people sort of check themselves, like I could actually, look on my phone now and see if it's coming through, but maybe I'll do that one day, but it just seems a bit awkward. I might as well just ask you guys if you can hear me. Usually someone says audio's not coming through, but all right. Hey Roy, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Appreciate that. Thanks so much. The recording with one mic, yeah. I've done a few with one mic. That's my go-to thing, because it's just so much you can do with one mic, and it's so simple and easy. Yet you can start with very simple and easy, but then you can get way more complicated, and you can go in really, really deep with everything, really. But yeah, so I appreciate that. Glad you found it helpful. Who else is here? Jeej is here. Welcome. Timothy. Hi Stone. Nice one. Appreciate that. Sounds great. Great. With these, let me know what you think about these live streams. At the moment, I'm just kind of keeping it very, very loose and free, and I just play songs and you just kind of ask me questions. I used to do it, it's important to kind of explore different strategies, different sort of things. I used to do sort of pick a subject and then I'll talk only about that subject. But I'm just kind of exploring different things, different ways of doing things. I actually prefer just playing songs and just going live and not really having much of a plan, but kind of just, turning on the camera and chatting to everyone. I always also find it hard with live streams to kind of, as a guitarist, you see a lot of live streams of people with guitars that are in front of their desks, right? And I really don't like playing in front of my desk looking at a screen. So my screen, I'm actually just looking at a camera now. My screen is over here, so you'll see me look to my left. And I'm thinking of eventually, I'm slowly moving towards further into the center of my room. I don't like playing guitar near a table. It just feels weird to me, so maybe one day I'll go completely away from the desk, and just have everything sort of, I don't know, an iPad or something, so I can see everyone's kind of comments and stuff. Because obviously I need the screen to be able to read the comments and reply, but I don't know. As well, let me know what you think about this one mic. So I'm using a Neumann TLM 107 large diaphragm condenser. And I do this a lot with my live streams. I use just one mic, but then I'm plugged in, I'm plugged in, so I can add in effects, go a bit crazy if I want to. But the pickup is really low, most of this sound is literally just coming from the mic. and I really like it. But the problem is, you probably can't hear it, but if I listen, I can hear my dishwasher in the background. I'm not in a completely soundproof studio. I'm just in my basement, and I can hear various different things. That's the thing with using a condenser, a large diaphragm condenser. It really does pick up other things. It doesn't really bother me too much. If I was doing a proper recording, I would probably make sure I wouldn't have any other sounds. But let me know what you think. Shall I go more with maybe a dynamic microphone and a small diaphragm condenser for the guitar? Let me know what you think about that. I don't know. I'll experiment a bit. For now, I like this sound. All right. I'm gonna just go ahead and do a song. I'll just do a song. This is called Another Monday, and it's just a very simple kind of idea that I had of just a D minor and an A minor, and it kind of follows this theme of just using kind of two chords, kind of arpeggiated, and improvising a little bit around these two chords. But it does go further than just the two chords, but the whole song was just based on like, oh, this sounds quite nice, of D minor and A minor, Anyway, I'll play it. It's called Another Monday. Here we go. Put a bit of reverb on my vocals. As usual, keep with the questions and comments or anything like that, as we're going here. Oh, bit of reverb. Here we go. But, all right.
It was a long winter's day, and the sun came my way. Couldn't believe, and like millions before, we're just in awe. His mum and me, all the stress we enjoy could hardly take more pain in our heads. Oh, you're not alone. Got 12 kids at home, the taxi man said. And all the weather is bad, and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. All the people are mad, and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. In this bubble we are, and we've made it thus far. 10 hours in, just wait and see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the weather is bad and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. And all them people are mad and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. Oh, the weather is bad and the traffic's the same. To anybody else, it's just another Monday. And all the people are mad and the trains are delayed. To anybody else, it's just another Monday.
That was another Monday. That's about the birth of my son, actually, and the whole point with it. The reason I got the idea. I know there's probably a lot of songs called Another Monday or something to do with Monday. Was just I thought how, and I remember having this feeling when my son was being born, of just how completely amazing but crazy, and all these feelings we were having as becoming new parents, and then, to anybody else, it's just another Monday. It doesn't even matter. But to us, it's the most important and crazy and scary day of our lives. So that was the whole kind of idea of the song. And I find, with a lot of this is in terms of songwriting, for me at least, a lot of it can just come with just a simple idea like this. I think that speaks for a lot of things. Is if you have an idea that you think is good and you want to sort of act on that, and you want to explore that idea, that can be amazing, because that can really spark something and be the motivation for you to continue to finish the song, and really explore this idea. So a lot of my songs just come from ideas, and so whether that's a story that I literally tell, or it's something else, there's a bit more vague. It all kind of sparks from an idea. Let me know if that's also the case for you. If it always or generally comes from kind of one idea. Probably is the case for a lot of people, but yeah, that's I really like it when I get these these ideas. They don't come all the time, which is annoying. All right, let's see who we got. Roy's here, Timothy's here, G's here. G says, the atmosphere of your videos is great. No desk tables. And the mic sounds great. Nice. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I still have the desk here, but I'd like to explore maybe going further out. The thing is, it's nice to have access to things, you know, so I'd still need access to levels and stuff. So, but I could move things, you know, I could move my interface and have my interface, you know, on a mic stand, you know, or something like this, and then an iPad, you know. I just want to be free from like a desk. And you see a lot of these live streamers that do it a lot, like every day. They're in front of a desk, but then if you're in front of a desk and looking at a screen, you know, the angle of the video is going to be like either really high or to the side, and you're like playing in front of a desk. I don't know, it just seems a bit strange to me. So I'm gonna explore different ways. I mean, it's I know I'm blabbering on about this now, but it's just been at the top of my head recently. It's also like maybe it would make me a bit unique that you don't immediately see a desk, you know, when you see my live streams. I don't know, but yeah, well, I'll explore with that, you know, at some point. But appreciate that. Thanks, Gigi. Timothy says, volume pedal, question mark? Yes, I'm using a volume pedal. I have basically my pickup, K&K Trinity pickup. It's sort of three contact pickups. It's not a undersaddle, it's a contact pickups, which is stuck on the inside of the guitar on the bridge, and they snake to one mono jack, and they're passive, so I don't like having sort of electronics on the actual guitar, because, you know, I like it to just kind of remain as original as possible. Although I do like sound hole pickups. I really do like the sound of a lot of sound hole pickups, and that really is like a lot of them. The big ones, at least, are like big chunks of metal right there. But I do like the sound of them, and I would like to explore with sound hole pickups in the future. But yeah, so but it's very minimal, you know. I've got the pickup turned down, and then I double up the signal, and one signal is going through a volume pedal and effects, and the other signal is basically going through like preamp, EQ, and a little bit of reverb, sort of you can kind of hear that natural-ish. I'd like to have it not too long, so it doesn't get in the way of the playing, you know, this sort of stuff. And then, but then with the volume pedal, I can bring it in, and, you know, I can bring in some crazy stuff if I want, you know, and it sort of acts like an expression pedal. I talk about this a lot in some of my videos, but I can basically do, you know, have all kinds of stuff. But the cool thing is that with expression pedals, you have to your pedal has to have an expression out for it to work, right? So this is not a true expression pedal. When I bring up the volume pedal, there is volume. I do gain volume as well, but with true expression pedals, you don't gain any volume. You literally just control the amount of effect that's coming through, if that makes sense. I hope it does. So it's not a true expression pedal, but I'm kind of acting like it is a little bit. But the beauty of this is I can literally put any pedal I want. It doesn't have to have an expression out. I can use any pedal I want, old pedals, you know, whatever, and just put it in the chain and bring it in and out whenever I want, kind of using the volume pedal. The volume pedal I'm using is a Lila mono volume pedal. I love this thing. It's just, in my opinion, the best volume pedal out there, because it's just it's just really, really precise. You know, with things like this, especially with acoustic guitar, you want to be very precise. You know, I tried other volume pedals where, you know, you press down and it's like hardly anything, and it's like a lot, towards the end, you know, and it's just not smooth. With this, because it's active, and two, because it has a sensor, so there's no pots or anything, moving parts inside. It has like a magnet and a sensor. So when you bring the sensor closer to the magnet, that's how it sort of adjusts the volume. It's just really precise and just really good and built really well. It's a company in Germany, and I just like them a lot. I've been talking about this for a while now. Sorry, everyone, if you, for the regulars who know all this already. I appreciate you sticking through while I talk about this every live stream. But yeah, for those that don't know it, that's what I'm using. Geesh says I can't hear your dishwasher. For people that don't know, I was talking about that I could hear my dishwasher earlier. Not that Geej wants to hear my dishwasher. Like, come on, man, I can't hear your dishwasher. Like, yeah, I think it's actually stopped now, but I was able to hear it earlier. But the problem with where I am now, I'm in a basement, and I'm also in a city, in a capital city. So, you know, there's like, at the back of this wall is literally the pavement, you know, where people are walking. You know, luckily I'm not on a busy road, but, you know, if a load of people decide to go by, or a skateboard, that's the worst, the skateboard. Though I really do like skateboarding. I don't do it anymore because I'd break my neck, but you know, nothing against skateboarders, but when they do pass by, it's just like, no, it's really bad. But luckily, there's no skateboarders in the evening at this time on my street. Yeah, so I was gonna say there's no proper door on my basement, so I've had to literally, I'm in the process as well of manufacturing my own sort of homemade soundproof doors. Because if you go up through my basement, then it literally comes into the kitchen, which is the worst. Kitchens, you know, they're just really echoey, and it's like lots of clang, 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 dishes and cutlery and glasses, you know. So if anybody goes in there, that's why I do these in the evening as well, because my, you know, son's not about shouting and stuff like that. Otherwise you'd hear him. It's just like, I can't record if anybody's basically in the house, so in the flat. You know, it's one of the things I have to deal with being in a flat, but I'm sure other people can relate that try to record while being in a flat. You basically have to just wait until everyone's either asleep or out. That's the solution, basically. But anyway, I'm on a ramble again. I need to look at the questions. Timothy says, loving that ambient sound. Appreciate that. Thanks. Yeah. You know, sometimes I really get into the ambient sound. And sometimes, you know, I like just the simplicity of what the mic picks up. Yeah, it's I like it. I like having control. That's the thing with the volume pedal can do. It can give me the control whether in that moment I want to just go crazy and just bring in lots of ambient effects, or if I just want to keep it simple, I just don't touch the volume pedal, you know. Ba-boom. G says, I love this tune. The album version is great with the lap steel. I appreciate that. How old is your son now? How old is he now? He's 7. He's 7, which is scary because I remember when he was born and now he's 7. Ugh, that's wild. Roy says there's some nice interplay between your vocal and the guitar, which harmonize nicely and is also quite vocal. Appreciate that. Yeah, I especially on this tune, what I'm doing at the moment is I'm exploring what I usually do. My typical thing is to sort of follow the vocal melody on my guitar, you know, and that I got from a lot of folk and especially blues players, you know, like a song I do, Nobody's Fault But Mine, Nobody's Fault But Mine, you know, and a whole load of others. On this one, I kind of wanted to sort of go in between following the vocal, sometimes not following it at all, and sometimes harmonizing with the vocal, you know. See if I can find that, especially on the chorus. So I'm going like, oh, the weather is bad, so I'm following the vocal there. Oh, the weather is bad and the traffic's the same, so that's following the vocals. But to anybody else, so that's not following the vocals. It's just another Monday. So I'm going da, 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 with the guitar, and then with my vocals, I'm sort of harmonizing with it. Doing another. I can't sing it now. I have to do it from the start. Hold on. Oh, the weather is bad and the traffic's the same. To anybody else. So I'm not harmonizing now. It's just another Monday. Yeah. So it's, yeah, I'm exploring with that at the moment with my writing, and not always just going with the same melody as the vocals. So appreciate that you recognize that. That makes me happy. Thanks, Roy. Julian says that Loudon sounds crazy good. Yeah, it's my baby. I love this guitar so much. I love it so much that I don't think I could have a different guitar. You know, it's really sad that I have all these other guitars, and but I just keep on coming to this guitar. But I think I'm brings me to think about, like, I don't actually want to take this on tour anymore when I do next go on tour, because it just means so much to me. I've had it. It's a 1994 Loudon, and it's you know, I've had it for so long. Can't remember what year I got it, but I've had it for at least 10 years, if not longer, at least. And it's been everywhere with me, but it's so important and so special. I think I don't want to take it on tour anymore. So I'm like, oh crap, I got to get another guitar, probably the same one. I think I'm just gonna buy whenever I can afford it. It's just to save up the money and basically just get exactly the same. Although they don't do the 010 anymore, they do the 012, which is basically the same guitar, just the same woods. I think the binding might be slightly different. I like this binding, and it's just, binding is mainly kind of looks, I think. But I like this binding that it's basically, you don't notice it. It sort of blends in with the wood color of the other woods, you know. So it looks like there's no binding, but it's very simple and just beautiful. But I think I can ask for this and specify this. Probably cost a bit more, but that's my plan, is to basically have another guitar exactly the same as this, and to tour with that, you know. Because if you don't know as well, I had this stolen. This was stolen from me as well, because I used to live on a boat in London, one of these canal boats, and they're not very secure. It's basically like living in a caravan on water, and it was stolen. Someone broke in and stole my guitar, and I was completely devastated. I just couldn't believe it. And then I actually told this story on a video a little while back, and then I found the guitar online, kind of like eBay, but for slightly different in the UK. And I knew it was mine. I could just tell, because obviously there's not too many Loudon's coming up for sale, so it's quite easy to find. You know, it's not like an iPhone or something where there's loads of them. And then I actually went round to the guy's place. He didn't know that it was my guitar, and it was. And then I said, all right, I'll take it. I'm just gonna go out and get some cash. I get some money to buy it, and then I called the police, and they arrested him. Got my guitar back that night. It was beautiful, but for that reason as well, that's another reason why I don't think I can tour with this guitar again. Sorry, I'm talking loads. I'm like jibber jabber on this Saturday. I was going through. Any questions? Many Vibes is here. Hey, Many Vibes. Good to have you. Someone photos. Oh, some of these profile names are really hard to read. Via Joan photos. Would you make a video explaining your way to EQ your songs? Yeah, I think I'll do something like that. What I've done in the past is I've done like how I make my videos. So how I made this specific video where I used one mic to record a song, and I went into basically how to set it up, how to all the details and stuff like that, and even the camera and the lighting a little bit. But I can actually go in and talk about what I do post-processing. So after I record, what's the process that I do? To be honest, it's not much at all. I try to do as much. I try to get the recording as close as perfection to me as if you can get to perfection, as close as I want to have it before I actually hit record, you know. So I try not to mess too much after the recording in terms of EQ. You'll be surprised how much you can do with literally just moving the microphone in a different position. You know, that's is kind of a way of EQing, you know. Especially with guitar, it's like even the slightest kind of angle can really change the sound completely. But so it'll be quite a short video, but yeah, absolutely, I can do that. Timothy, appreciate that. Oh, thanks so much. Oh, that's very kind of you. My new Loudon fund gave me a super chat. Love that. Appreciate that. Yeah, I need a new Loudon fund. All right. I'm gonna keep reading down the questions, but keep asking the questions, and I'll answer them. I'll do another song. But yeah, appreciate that, Timothy. That's really kind of you. There was a thing where, I don't know if Apple still do it, where if you do like a peace sign, it did like balloons. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's for you, Timothy. Appreciate that. All right, I'll do another song, and then I'll keep with the answering the questions. I'll try not to chat too much because I'm talking loads. All right, from an original, I'm gonna do a traditional song called "I Must Live All Alone." It is quite depressing and melancholy, like a lot of folk songs. It's a English folk song. And I did a video a little while back of me recording this song with a ribbon microphone, actually. Really nice ribbon microphone by No Hype Audio. And literally just using that. I wasn't using any pickup or anything like that. So if you want to check that out as well, I think I called it, what did I call it? I didn't call it by the song title. I called it, forgotten now. All I Need Is One Ribbon Mic, or something like this. Something strange, a weird title, but that's what I called it. But the song is called I Must Live All Alone. It's a very old, traditional song from England. And it's a typical maid waiting for her true love to come back from sea. But he never does. So she dies all alone. Yeah, nice and charming. Here we go.
Once I was walking one morning by chance. I heard a maid making her moan. I asked her why she sighed, and she sadly replied, alas, I must hear all alone. Alas, I must die all alone. I said, my fair maid, pray whence have you strayed? And are you some distance from home? My home, she replied, is a burden to me, for there I must live all alone. For there I must live all alone. Once I was 11, sweethearts I had 7, and then I would look upon none. But now all in vain I must sigh and complain, for my true love has left me alone. For my true love has left me alone. Oh, come back from sea, my Johnny, to me, and make me a bride of your own. Or else for your sake I heart will break, and here I shall die all alone. And here I shall die all alone.
That was I Must Die. I Must Live All Alone. I Must Die All Alone. Yeah. It is, if you've just joined us, I'm doing a live stream and I'm taking questions and comments. And it's... So please feel free to ask any questions, anything you have, anything related to either my YouTube videos or to future live streams. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Royce says, I was told that the musician writes the music first and the artist writes the lyric first. It is usually is it usually words for you? Yeah, that's an interesting way. So the musician writes the music first, and then the artist writes the lyric first. Well, you know, it's like an age-old question, isn't it? What comes first, the music or the lyrics? It depends. It really depends on the song. But I'd say for me, most of the time, the music, how long? I'd have to actually say, I was going to say the music comes first, but it really depends. A lot of the time, I write the music first. I come up with some kind of melody, and then that can inspire some kind of, depending on how that feels, the melody, the chords, whatever it is, what type of song it is, you know. But having said that, a lot of the time I have these sort of ideas that come to me, like, oh, that could be cool, writing a song about this, you know. Like I wrote a song about me turning into my dad, you know. I called it like Father Like Son, and you know, that definitely came before the music. That because I literally wrote, like, almost came up with the title before I came up with anything else. I thought, that's a really cool idea, let's explore that, you know. So a lot of the time I come up with this, like the Another Monday. That was the title, and the subject came first and the music came after it, you know. So a lot of the time I'd say it's probably 50-50, to be honest. And sometimes I just literally just come up with a melody. I'm like, right, I need to come up with some kind of lyrics for this. Yeah, so it's combining the two, and it depends. It really, so you know, really depends. But I have like a notepad. I have all kinds of things where I come up with titles, and I come up with ideas, and I just kind of jot them down throughout the day. So when I sit myself down to write, it's not just a blank piece of paper, you know, because I find that can be the worst thing to do, is to, like, okay, I have an hour, I have 30 minutes, I have to sit myself down, I have to write something because I got to use this time and be productive, you know. And then if you have just a white blank piece of paper, it's super hard to come up with something then. Or at the same time, if you're saying like, right, I won't come up with lyrics or ideas, I'll just come up with a melody, and then if something speaks to me, then I'll do that, you know, which is a good idea. But then a lot of the time we end up just noodling on the guitar or playing old songs, you know, practicing our old songs, which is good, and that's important to do as well. But that's not writing, you know, that's not a writing session. So I find this as well. I get easily distracted. So I need to have these sort of rules and these sort of things in place to make sure that I don't get distracted in these moments where I want to be productive with my writing, you know. So having a piece of paper or a pad or something, notes on the phone, little melodies that I've come up with on my phone, ideas, before I actually sit myself down and record, is really important. Of course, you can come up with the ideas during the songwriting session, but it's a lot better to actually have the ideas beforehand, so then you can act upon them, and so your writing session can be a lot more productive. But sorry, I went on a tangent there, and I hope that answers your question. So it's 50-50 really for me. Appreciate that, Timothy. No worries. Julian says, so far I love pedals. I use a Nux Optima as piezo pickup preamp with custom-made IR impulse response. It removes the quack sound of the piezo. I never know how to pronounce that. Making closer to direct mic capture. Nice. Yeah, that sounds really good. It's because it's always a thing with these piezo pickups. I think they always have that quacky sound, don't they? And no one likes it. No one likes that quacky sound. I mean, this is technically it's a piezo style. It's like a contact pickup, But what you're hearing is mostly the mic. So if I turn the mic off, then you can hear. You'll be able to hear what the pickup sounds like. One sec. It has that quacky sound. I tried to get rid of it with a bit of EQ, but to be honest, if I have a mic like this, doesn't really matter too much, because mostly what you're hearing is the microphone. So the pickup I just used for the low end, really. I'll turn the pickup off now, so you can kind of hear. This is without the pickup. That's all just coming from this mic. And it would be enough. That would totally be fine for the live stream, But I just, I do like a little bit of, especially with pedals and effects, to kind of bring it in. Just a little touch of sprinkles of these things. Can be nice. So that's what I do. But when I go live, usually I have like a dynamic mic for my vocals, and I use a small diaphragm condenser for the guitar. And this really helps. So any kind of microphone, a lot of people use internal mics, which is also good. Any kind of mic for the guitar where you can basically blend the microphone with a pickup is a great situation, because the microphone deals with all the lovely high-end, those airy sort of sounds that you just don't get with a pickup. And then the pickup deals with all the low end, which obviously a microphone on stage with monitors and da-di-da, you're not going to be able to get that low end, up with a condenser on stage, obviously. So it deals with that. So it's, that's a good solution as well, which a lot of people do. But that sounds good as well, Julian. Sounds really good. I've never heard of the Nux Optima. Oh, I might have actually. Nux Optima. I think it's a preamp, huh? I think it looked really good. Got to check that out. Nice. Roy says they came out with a smaller version of my volume pedal. Yeah, I saw that. I'd definitely be interested in taking a look at that. I'm actually gonna go to the Guitar Summit in Mannheim in Germany in the end of this month in September. I'm gonna go there. If anybody else is gonna be there, then I'd love to meet up. Let me know. But yeah, I'm Leela are also gonna be there, so I'm gonna they're probably gonna have loads of stuff there, so I'm gonna check it out there, I think. But yeah, really looking forward to that. Many Vibes says, did you have to drill a hole in your acoustic for the pickup you use? Yes, yeah, I did. I mean, normally I would suggest getting a luthier to do it, someone that knows what they're doing, but when I got it, I didn't really have the time or I don't know. I just wanted to do it myself because I wanted to install it, which I probably shouldn't have, but it is fairly simple. But I would recommend, if you have a lovely guitar that you don't want to do it yourself and you're uncomfortable with it, just get a luthier to do it. Just get a guitar tech or someone who knows what they're doing. Because I definitely didn't. I'm okay, I'm okay. I can build stuff, but I don't know if you see that. I actually have 2 holes. There's one that I'm not using. So actually, because I've had lots of different pickups in this, I don't think this affects the sound too much. I've had all kinds of different pickups. I've had 3 pickups in this at once at one point. That's why I had to have 2 outputs, because I had a sound hole and I had an internal mic, and I had this this other pickup, piezo style pickup. So and I was blending them all and all this sort of stuff. Now I've gone just for 1 pickup, but it changes. It changes. So yes, I did. Most of the time you have to, unless it comes with a pickup. But mostly, if a guitar comes with a pickup, most of the time is not a very good pickup. But unless there are exceptions for that, of course. Many Vibes says, can't do it. I don't want to make holes in my guitar. Yeah, I appreciate that. Respect that. I know. But, the other thing you can do is I've seen people have like a cable coming out the sound hole. That's an option, but it's not very practical, especially if you're playing live and you're using your pickup a lot. It just having a cable running down just kind of gets in the way a little bit. But I've seen people do that, and that is at least an option if you're exploring using pickups, but you don't know if you want to really use a pickup or not. That could be a good way, of trying some pickups out. But a lot of like piezo style pickups, under saddle especially, you do have to drill some kind of hole, because you put it under the saddle. It's like this flat thing, and then you drill a tiny hole for the cable to go through your guitar. It's just a very, very small hole, but it's still a hole. And then you can run that, and then you could probably run that cable out of your sound hole, But it is still but I would suggest maybe using like a sound hole pickup, because then at least you're not actually having to damage the guitar in any way or use any glue or anything like this. It's literally just clamped in your sound hole, and then you can have a cable running out. So I would do that, if you're just experimenting with pickups and you don't know if you want to commit to making a hole in the guitar or not. Yeah, Julian says, to buy the same, it must be as old and mahogany. Sounds so woody. Yeah, I know. It will never sound the same if I get a new one. I could always look out for secondhand ones, I could, I could do that and see. They do come up now and again, these Loudons. They're getting more and more popular ever since Ed Sheeran has started playing them a lot more. But I like the big ones myself, the big boys. I'm not a fan of the small guitars, too small. I like the big sound. All right, just looking for any more questions. Julian says, what is the tuning? Dadgad. I think someone answered that. What tuning do you prefer? Sorry, and why? Then can you please use it for the next song and demonstrate what really makes you vibe? I love your playing style. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm almost always in Dadgad. But I am experimenting with different tunings. The reason I like Dadgad is because I like to play in kind of different keys and not always just play in the kind of the main key that your tuning is in. Like I would D major and D minor. So I like to explore a bit, and I like to know the tuning a little bit. Whereas if you're playing in like 10 different tunings, then you have to really know all the different notes and chords in all those different 10 tunings. It can get a bit much, So if you're experimenting with open tunings, I would recommend sort of choosing one tuning. It doesn't really matter what it is, but going for something that has going for a modal tuning, which is like something that's not major or minor, so has like a sus2 or a sus4. Dadgad is basically D sus4 tuning. There's no third in there. There's nothing telling you that it's major or minor, so that leaves it open for you to interpret that, how you want. So that's a good way to start, I would, and then you can sort of, progress from there. But I made, at one point I was just using so many different tunings and different guitars on stage, and I didn't really know any tuning particularly well. I was just playing in the sort of the open key, of each tuning, or I would capo and then I'd play in that open key. That's how I would change keys. I would just capo it and I'd play in that open key. So I would always just be playing in the same key. So I kind of you end up kind of playing the same stuff, the same riffs, the same chords, this kind of thing. So at least I decided this way. Okay, I'm going to just stick with one tuning, Dadgad, and really try and play in different keys and make it sound a little different. Yeah, so hope that answers the question. All right, I'm going to play another song. Hold on, I'll answer one more question before I play another song. Kai says, as someone who is getting started with the guitar and has a few songs under their belt, what advice would you have for improvising, writing your own songs? So if you're just starting out and you have a few songs, improvising, first off, depends. Okay, it depends if you're are you playing finger picking, are you strumming? I don't, if you haven't noticed, I don't really do much strumming at all. I mainly do finger picking. So when it comes to improvising, I really enjoy improvising because composing is basically just improvising really fast. No, the other way around. Improvising is composing really fast. So that's why I really love improvising, because it's composing, but you don't you don't have a chance to think about it. It's just you kind of have to express yourself just with whatever comes, you know. It's like this instant thing, so that's why I really like it. And the kind of the rush of improvising, it could go really well or it could go really bad, you know. It depends on how far you're willing to push yourself, how much in the safe zone you're pushing yourself out of, you know. A lot of people kind of stay in their safe zone and what they know and what they can play, you know. But with improvising, it's, you know, especially with improvising, and it's really good to kind of push out of that and be willing to make mistakes and look silly. But you know, if you play something that just happens to be, oh, it's really nice, then it's a really great feeling. But I would just take it, if you're just starting out, then just take it really slow and really simple. Just in terms of finger picking, just start with literally just one thumb and one finger, you know. Something like this. I mean, there's so much you can do with just one thumb and one finger. A lot of people, when they improvise, they try and play a lot of notes, as you know, try to fill the gaps as much as possible. And I think that's a mistake to think that way, because actually you need space. It's the space which really you can get that feeling, you know. You're trying to express yourself, not to just play a bunch of notes really fast, you know. So you need that space to breathe. The notes need space, you know. So I actually prefer the simpler the better, almost, you know. You look at a lot of the best melodies, they're really simple, you know. They're not too complicated. So, and you can do, if you're strumming, so if you're just starting out with like strumming, you can also do the same thing. Is just coming up with sort of just some chords, you know. Keep it super simple, and then try and just hum something over the top. Again, keep it really simple, you know. I find it hard to hum something and listen at the same time, so I usually record myself while I'm doing that. Or, because I play the melody, my singing melody, I'd actually just kind of play what I'm going to sing and the chords at the same time, you know, because I can do that with finger picking. So that's one thing. But I'd just say keep it very simple. You know, keep it, if you're finger picking, one finger, one thumb. I mean, that I was literally, and the bass note was literally just one note, you know, and then explore with 2 notes and 3 notes and 4 notes, and I hope that helps. And I'm gonna do a song now. Here we go. Keep the questions coming in though. It's really good. Love it. All right. Bum, bum, bum. I need to drink some water. My mouth getting dry. There's a song I really like to play. It's called Memories, and this came from an idea in terms of the lyrics. In terms of just the idea usually just comes separately to the music, and it was the idea of the memories. A lot of memories that I have of my childhood are not actual visual memories, but they're more kind of just tiny snapshots of both visual, but also the smell and the feeling of stuff. We used to go a lot to the beach, to the south coast. I grew up in the south of England, and so it's an island, so you can get to the beach, the sea, the coast pretty easily. So we used to go there all the time. I just have these memories of going there, even during the winter, when the tide is out. You can just run for what seemed like miles when you're a small kid. I thought it was just amazing. So I have these sort of memories, but it's a lot of it is the sound and the smells and the kind of the feel of the sand, rather than the actual visual memories. I find it also, the older we get, the harder it is to actually visualize certain things, because I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, there wasn't any smartphones. Not many people had cameras really that often, and I don't have too many photos of me as a kid. Of course, I have a few, but not as many as there are today. I don't know how many photos I have of my kid, probably thousands by now. It's really crazy how different it is. We document our kids' lives pretty much. It'd be interesting to see in like 20 years that everyone will have every sort of pictures and videos of every day of their lives. I don't know how that will affect people. Maybe that's a good idea for a song. See, right there. You can just think of ideas and explore that. It's like, so I can't remember what I was talking about now. Yeah, just sort of this idea of like having these memories, but they're actually just sort of smell and the sound of things, and the way sort of things touched, the way things felt, rather than the visual image. Anyway, I'll play now, and here we go. I'll stop talking. Okay.
We were young, we used to head down to the southern coast. What I enjoyed the most was the sun and the lovely sea. Fresh sea air, it smelled the best when the tide was out. We used to run and shout, release the bird in me. The memory of that feeling was so free. Sand in between my toes, sun cream on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments in memory. Sunday morn, my dad said, everyone in the car, we don't have to drive too far. I roll my window down, radio on and blasting, cruising steadily. Who can see the sea is the first to make a sound, and I'm the first to say what I have found. Sand in between my toes,
those memories. All right. Hope everyone's good. If you've just joined the live stream, we're doing any questions, and I'm singing and talking and answering any questions that you have. So make sure you jot down if you do have a question about any of my videos or any of my equipment or anything to do with songwriting. All right, let's have a look. Just a warning, I'm not going to go for much longer because it's getting late here. I'm in Berlin. It's been a beautiful weekend. We're really lucky at the moment. We're having so much nice weather. A lot of the summer it was very rainy and very sort of sunny and rainy. But now it's like just pure sun. Amazing. All right. Let's have a look. Royce says, do you have trouble with cable noise recording from the piezo? Not really too much. I mean, depends on what I'm recording into and how many pedals I'm going through and stuff, but I mean, let's have a listen to it. Hold on. I'll turn it up a lot and we'll just hear. So that I really turned it up a lot. Not really much noise at all. I feel it also depends on the pickup and the preamp. You know, I guess has a lot to do with that. But these K&K pickups are really good. You know. A lot of people use them. A lot of professionals use them. I find they're really good they don't really pick up any other noise. You know, I mean, I have a massive light pointed towards me. You know, I have lots of electrical equipment all around me. So, you know, if it was bad, it would pick up a lot. But the preamp can help as well. You know, if you have ground lifts and stuff like this. But no noise. Many Vibes says internal mic ? That's probably to do with the previously I said I had an internal mic, right? Yeah, you can get standalone internal mics. I think actually K&K have one that you can get, which you actually just has on the end of like they're usually on the end of like a little adjustable arm. You know, you can sort of adjust it, and usually you have it just on the inside of the sound hole, basically picking up the sound of the strings, and because you don't want it too far in the guitar, because then it's just going to sound really boomy. Generally, a guitar in a box, I mean a microphone in a box, a wooden box, just doesn't sound very good. It's just going to sound boomy and not so great. So you want to kind of point it. If you see a lot of people that have these mics, they have them really just pointed. So they're basically pointing outwards and very close to the strings. The internal mics are great, especially if you're playing live and you want a microphone, but you don't want to have an external microphone on a mic stand. You know, if you're moving about, I sit down when I play, so it really I don't move much, you know, from my seat. So that I just have an external mic really works for me. But you know, some people like to move around, and if you have a strap, you stand up, then an internal mic would be the way to go, probably. Yes, if that, hopefully that helps. Mike says, searching for ideas. Yes, sometimes that's the real afford. And if there's no idea, it's blocking you, or you keep cool and wait over the years. Yeah, it's ideas come, ideas go. You know, it's I think there are. I've found different ways to kind of, what's the word, to kind of ignite more ideas to, you know, coming to you. A lot of it I find is to do with inspiration. So I find when I'm listening to a lot of music, I'm getting inspired a lot, and I tend to write a lot more, you know. And other things can inspire, like new gear. It's always nice. New microphone, new guitar, something different, you know. Even just playing a different guitar, something that sounds slightly different. That, you know, you don't have to buy a new guitar every time you want to write a song. That wouldn't really work. But you know, things like this, you can kind of stimulate these sort of ideas that inspire, you know, ideas. But you definitely, I find I need to be consciously thinking, like, okay, what idea can I, you know, thinking in the back of my mind, always be ready for an idea to hit me, you know, in a situation. Usually I'm in a situation at some point, you know, whatever that is, on the train, at a family gathering, you know, and I'd have an idea and I just jot it down. So this is usually where it comes. Many Vibes says, why 2 holes? I can't remember what I was talking about. 2 holes? Oh, the pickup. It's because I had, so I need one. If I have like more than 2 pickups, then I need 2 holes, because I can have a stereo. I can blend 2 mono signals into stereo, you know. Then I just need 1 hole. But if I have 3 pickups, then I need another hole, you know. Basically, that's because I can't have more than a stereo signal in a jack, basically. Julian says Nux Optima Air is a preamp. Yes. Yeah, I think I've seen it. I think someone mentioned, I don't know if it was you mentioned that before. Someone maybe mentioned that on a YouTube video, this Nux Optima Air. Looks really good. If I remember correctly. Many Vibes says, I think I would just record with a mic and use a DAW for effects. Yeah, I mean, that's a very simple way. I would definitely do that. You know, and with a lot of DAWs, there's a way you can have your effects in your headphones if you're using headphones, but it won't record the effects in the recording that you do, you know, so it won't print the effects, if that makes sense. So this can be a nice way if you would, because having, for example, just something as simple as a reverb on your microphone when you're recording in your headphones, you know, can give you inspiration. It can make you sing and play slightly differently, you know, because you're sort of countering for the reverb to, you know, to make that effect. At least I do. I play differently when I'm listening to the effects. So that's why I use headphones. Although I'm exploring different ways of not using headphones, but still being able to listen to the effects. For example, I might, on one live stream, I might do it where I have no headphones, but I have my effects channel going through an amplifier, and that is, I can then mic up the guitar amp, so I can then hear it in the room, you know, so I'd still be able to hear the effects and then adjust my playing and get inspiration from that while I'm playing, you know, and still hear it but not have to use headphones, because, you know, I don't like using headphones a lot. You know, it's not really great for your ears, and if you're using them for hours on end. So yeah, that's something I'm exploring with that idea. I can't remember what that was for. Oh yeah, the mic with just using effects. But yeah, that's a good idea, definitely. To add the effects after, then you have more control. Julian says its main interest is on stage. Yeah, you're talking about the preamp, huh? When using mic can be complicated cause of feedback. Okay, when using a mic, yeah, for sure. In studio, taking every source available to blend them for what each is the best at, as you're doing, is the best in my humble opinion. Yeah, exactly. It's you know, I have at the moment I have the freedom and the flexibility of being able to use a large diaphragm condenser and basically whatever I want, because I'm not performing on stage. I don't have the monitors, the big PA system, you know. I don't have to think about that. Although this is something actually I've been thinking about as well, is what if I did use this mic particular, a large diaphragm condenser on stage? How bad would it be? Let me know in the comments if you've tried this, because I want to give it a try. Has anyone tried this? Because, you know, if you look at a lot of bluegrass players, a lot of them are just crowding around one large diaphragm condenser, you know, load of instruments around one large diaphragm condenser on stage, and then just like belting into it. And the ones that I've seen don't have any headphones, like in-ear monitors, so they must have some kind of monitoring on stage, or it's just a room where they can sort of hear themselves very clearly and easily. I don't know. But I don't know, maybe this could work with the right sort of feedback adjustment, you know, like the right EQing. Maybe this could work. I'd be willing to try it out myself, you know, because I do like the sound of a condenser, you know, and I don't know if that translates on stage. It sounds great with my small diaphragm condenser that I use on stage. I've toured with it. It sounds amazing. And also, I don't use it for vocals, you know. I don't know. Let me know if anybody's tried that. I've seen a lot of bluegrass players use it, so that must work for them. If it works for them, it might work for me. I don't know. Instead of using a dynamic for vocals, you know, so I'd prefer to use, because if I'm using a dynamic for vocals and I have another microphone on the guitar, you know, it's a lot of mic stands just around me and stuff. So, you know, I like the simplicity of just the one mic, which would also pick up the guitar. And I have a similar sort of thing of wouldn't have as much bass on the large diaphragm, although I would want some bass, because low end frequencies, because I would want that on my vocals, you know. So I don't know how much that would work or not, but obviously I'd still have my pickup as well. Yeah, just wondering if anybody has experience with that. Is it a ridiculous idea? Should I make a video on that about that? I think I might do that. Sparky is here. Hey Sparky, how's it going? Guitar Town Radio, howdy Fabian and crew from Guitar Town USA. How's it going? Good to have you on the live stream. Just to remind you, I won't be going for much longer. I'll probably do one more song, because I can feel my voice It's always get this when I go for like an hour and a half, and especially when I talk a lot, um, my voice it just gets a bit sore and crackly. Need to make sure that I'm drinking lots. So I'm going to do one more song, but make sure you get the questions in if you have any more questions about anything really. Hey, Walek, is that right? Or is it a W with a V, like here in Germany? Valek from Czech Republic. Nice. I know I've never been to the Czech Republic, even though it's so close to. I live in Berlin. You know, it's like 3 hours or something on the train, and I'm in Prague. Amazing. Yeah, I'd like to visit your country. Gij says, how are you getting on relearning your old tunes? It's slow, I have to say. My goal was to pick an old tune that I haven't played before, or haven't played in a while, for each live stream, and that still is my goal. So then I can kind of learn it in the week, relearn it, and maybe change it slightly, and play it in the live stream. One was this one, the traditional one that I did, the what was it called? I Must Live All Alone. That was one. So that one I learned, but next week I'm not sure. So that's my plan, is to slowly start learning a lot of my old songs that I haven't played for years. And to be honest, there's a reason why I haven't played them. It's because I wasn't a huge fan of them. I do have my favorites, but I have to say that I shouldn't just dismiss them, because there's so much you can do with a song, and so I find that if I relearn a song and I change it slightly, or I give it a different feel, then I fall in love with it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got this. And that's amazing, to have an extra song to your repertoire, that you can play live. It's great. It's always good. So this is what I'm doing. So because I have so many songs that I just don't play anymore, just because they're old, and I just wasn't I wasn't a fan of them at the time. So yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's slow. One a week at the moment. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for asking. Many Vibes says, well, why wouldn't it record the effect you're hearing? That seems counterproductive. It's literally just because some people like to hear the effect whilst they're playing. But then if you record, and you can, you can at least, I don't know if this is the case with every DAW and with every interface. I can do it directly from my interface, which is really handy. But let me know if anybody else can do this from their DAW that they're using. Can you record a song with no effects at all, and then still have the effects in your monitors, in your headphones whilst you're recording, and then maybe record like a separate track of those effects as well as, so you have different options. So you have the option of no effects recorded, and then you have the option of like the song with effects. So you can sort of choose, I can do that directly from my interface, but I know that you can't do that with every interface. So I don't know, maybe there's a way to do it from your DAW, but you need to research that. But I know there is a way to do at least having effects in your monitors and then not record that. And the reason why you don't want to record that is because if you record with effects, then you can't change it after, It's a good, which is sometimes the case. Sometimes you want that. So I've done that a lot in the past, where I like to just have the sound that I want. and I want that recorded, and I don't want to change it, you know. But it's good idea, especially when you're starting out, to have to maybe not record the effect, record it completely dry, and then add effects later. Because then you have more options, because you might find that if you record it with the effects, that you listen back and you realize, oh, it was too much reverb, or or that if you're using EQ, oh, I just EQ'd it kind of badly there, and then you have to try and make adjustments later on, and it just ends up not sounding as good. So it's much better to, if you want to give yourself more options, after recording, which most people do, is to have the dry signal, the unaffected signal recorded, if that makes sense. Hope it does. Yeah. Roy says, can you tell us about your site? I joined last week but didn't get a confirmation. Oh, really? Sorry about that, Roy. Yeah, I mean, it's a new website, so I'm just kind of ironing out creases at the moment. Roy, are you signed up with this name that you're using, Roy Larkey? Because then I can check and just make sure you're in. I would also say, if you didn't get a confirmation, check. I mean, it sounds obvious. Just check your spam folder and everything. Make sure it's not in there. Sometimes they end up in the spam. But you should have got something if you signed up. You should have got an email for sure. But I'll check that after the stream. Yeah, just let me know if you signed up with an email when you signed up with the same name as you're using now. Then I can check that for you. But yeah, definitely check your spam folders and anything like that. Many Vibes says, I couldn't sign up for that new songwriter part of the site because the privacy cookies. Oh, okay. Which is weird, because I could sign up for the email notifications without changing my cookie settings. Okay, that's strange. The privacy cookies, well, maybe that's something I need to look at then, in terms of the privacy cookies. Yeah, okay. Did it give you like a notification or something? Like a option to accept cookies, or what was going on there? Do you mean like Many Vibes? Do you mean the Song Club? Huh? You're talking about the Song Club. Yeah. If you're having any problems, please get in touch. You can either I have a Facebook group for this, which you can sign up for. Just Fabian's Song Club at Facebook, or you can just go to my website, fabianholland.com, and just drop me an email, and I usually try and reply pretty quickly. Or hit me up on Instagram. I'm there as well. I usually look at messages there, Fabian Holland Music, if you're on Instagram. But easy probably just to send me an email. Just go on to contact and just drop me an email. Yeah. Many Vibes says, what interface and DAW are you using? So I'm using the Neumann MT48 interface. This is like a really high-end interface that Neumann actually sent me to try out and to kind of just mess around with. So that's what I'm using. But and the DAW I'm using is Reaper. But you might not have the budget for a $2,000 interface. So there's loads of great options out there. But this Neumann interface obviously is amazing. It basically has a touch screen on it, you know. It has compression, it has EQ, it has all kinds of things. I'm just touching the surface with it, but what I like about it as well is I don't have to plug it into a computer to for it to work, you know. I can literally use it as like a mixer in itself. I would love to take this to a live live show and just use it as my own mixer just on stage. But I'm using Reaper, but which is really good. You know, I really like Reaper, but I've also used Logic in the past and Ableton Live. You know, any one of them will do. You know, I don't fixate too much on one is better than the other in terms of DAWs. You know, just whatever appeals to you and makes sense to you. You know, they're all slightly different but very similar. Yeah. A headphone amp. Yeah. You could use a headphone amp. What's that for, Roy? The name would be Roy Zane. Okay. All right. Then I'll check that after then. Roy, do you mean what Many Vibes was talking about, like using like recording your vocals in a recording with effects, or effects in your headphones? Use a headphone amp. Roy Zane. Yeah, give it another try. Maybe it just didn't computer said no at that moment. I don't know. Give it another go, see what it says. Many Vibes says it gives me an error message saying I had to change my privacy settings to join the song club. Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. I have to research that then. Many Vibes. Let me know if anybody else has had that same issue. And I'll look into that. Yeah. Okay. Roy says, yeah, to get effects whilst recording. Yeah, you can use a headphone amp. That's a good idea. Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna do another song, and then I'm gonna end it because it's getting really late here in Berlin. Yeah. As much as I am enjoying myself, I hope everyone else is too. I'll do one more song. Here we go. What am I going to do? I'll do a song called Nobody's Fault But Mine. It's a song I love to do. I'll just end with that. If you have any questions, now's the time to ask. I'll do a song, the last song, and then I'll answer any questions that are left, and then I'll end it. Here we go. Nobody's Fault But Mine.
nobody's fault but mine. If I don't write, my soul will lose. And I have a Bible in my home. And I have a Bible in my home. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Mother, she told me how to read. Mother, she told me how to read. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Sister, she taught me how to read. Sister, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Mother, she taught me how to read. Mother, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Father, he taught me how to read. Father, he taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Mother, she taught me how to read. Mother, she taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul will lost. Nobody's fault but mine.
All right. Whew. Got a little carried away there in the end. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming along to the live streams. I do appreciate it. Yeah, thanks so much, Jeej. Timothy, Roy, many vibes. Appreciate you all. Roy says, I'm listening on the front porch with my children, with my chicken, and my TR30 amp for sound. Nice. Pretty good use of a Saturday afternoon. I appreciate that, Roy. Appreciate you. Thanks, Jeej. Thanks so much. Thanks, Julian. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Lovely weekend. And I'll see you all next time. Appreciate it. Bye.